Rebels claim to encircle Ukraine troops in Debaltseve. Pro-Russian rebels in Ukraine say they have encircled the town of Debaltseve, but Ukraine says its troops are still fighting along a supply road. The strategic town is a key railway junction and has been the focus of intense fighting for more than a week. Ukrainian officials said at least 9 soldiers and 7 civilians had died in fighting in the town since Sunday. Earlier, U.S. President Barack Obama said he had not ruled out supplying arms to Ukraine if diplomacy failed. Russia had violated every commitment in a truce deal, he said, after meeting German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Ms. Merkel is opposed to sending weapons to the warring sides. She has been briefing Mr. Obama on a new peace deal for the conflict in Ukraine's east. Russia has denied accusations of sending troops and supplies to reinforce the rebels battling Ukrainian forces. Demilitarized zone. The rebels said on Monday that they had cut off a key supply road to Debaltseve, which is near the rebel-held city of Donetsk. However, Ukraine's military told the BBC that the battle was continuing. Pro-Russian separatist fighter jumps from an armored vehicle near a destroyed Ukrainian tank in Uglegorsk, 6 km southwest of Debaltseve on February 9, 2015. Ms. Merkel's U.S. trip is the latest in a flurry of diplomatic activity to try to end nearly a year of conflict in Ukraine. Military spokesman Oleksandr Matuzyanik told the BBC there is fighting going on for this road at the moment. Thousands of Ukrainian troops are believed to be in Debaltseve and the surrounding area. Heavy fighting has been raging there for more than a week, with the rebels gaining some ground. The crisis in Ukraine has already claimed more than 5,300 lives and displaced 1.5 million people. Map of Ukraine rebel-held areas. Ms. Merkel met the U.S. President in Washington on Monday to update him on Franco-German efforts to revive last year's Minsk peace plan, which collapsed amid fighting over the winter. The detailed proposals have not been released, but the plan is thought to include a demilitarized zone of 50 to 70 kilometers, 30 to 45 miles, around the current front line. Four-way talks between Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and France are due to be held in Belarus's capital Minsk on Wednesday to discuss the proposals. One option. Speaking alongside the German Chancellor, President Obama said the option of lethal defensive weapons for the Ukrainian government remained on the table. If, in fact, diplomacy fails, what I've asked my team to do is to look at all options, he said, adding that offering lethal arms was only one of the options under consideration. Ms. Merkel, who has made it clear she opposes sending lethal arms, acknowledged setbacks in efforts to reach a diplomatic solution with Russia over Ukraine, but said that they would continue. Pro-Russian separatist fighters stand on February 9, 2015 on a road near Uglegorsk, 6 km southwest of Debaltseve. Much of the recent fighting has taken place around Debaltseve, a key piece of territory in the east. Meanwhile, Mr. Obama criticized Russian aggression in Ukraine, saying that the borders of Europe could not be redrawn at the barrel of a gun. Russian action had reinforced the unity of the US and its European allies, he added. EU foreign ministers in Brussels agreed on Monday to impose further sanctions against Russian and rebel officials, but have put them on hold for a week to give peace efforts a chance. Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is also considering the peace proposals, earlier blamed the West for causing the crisis, saying they had broken pledges not to expand NATO and forced countries to choose between them or Russia. In comments to an Egyptian newspaper, Mr. Putin accused Western states of supporting a coup d'état in Kiev, a reference to the ousting of former Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych last year.